Okay, Tim, this is how to kill the bitch snake in 1 minute flat. So, what you're gonna need here is either crystal or armadillo. And if you're using crystal, use a crystal bow. If you're using armadillo, which might actually be more effective or faster, crystal is just really economical because it costs like nothing to shoot an arrow. But get your anguish, blessing, Pegasian boots, barrels, gloves, and your normal range setup. Except instead of using a archer's ring, use a ring of suffering imbued with recoil. So I have 2200 recoil charges, or just use a ring of recoil if you don't want to spend the 15 mil and imbue it with Nightmare Zone points. But that's important because at some point these little snakes appear, and the snakes, if they only have one hit point, but they can deal a lot of damage. So as soon as they damage you, then they take the one recoil damage and they die. So you need to have the ring slot is actually the most important, um, especially with your higher level stats. But then you're going to need a divine ranging potion, anti-venom, plus 2 prayer potions should be enough. Lunar staff to get there, home telly, and if you don't have 76 agility, you're going to need a summer pie too. And then just fill the rest with whatever best food. So I will need to take the fairy ring up here. You can just tele to your house, and I think you have one in your house on the fairy ring, so you can just do that. But the code, it's the best fairy ring code. It's BJS, BJs. So just remember, Zulrah gives the best BJs. I really thought you'd laugh at that, Rose. All right, never mind. Okay. Oh, gotcha. No, the fairy ring code to get to Zulrah is BJS. So every time you want to go to Zulrah, you just remember that the snake Zulrah gives really good BJs. All right, so before you, if it's your first time, you have to talk to the priestess. I think and she'll tell you that she's going to sacrifice this little child here, and instead you offer to sacrifice yourself, but you're actually going to kill the dragon or snake. So, but after that, you can just left click board the boat. Before you go, I'd recommend, especially if you're just going for learning purposes, drink a ranging potion and your anti-venom, board the boat, and then you're going to want to throw on protect range, and you're always going to start in this corner over here. And it's always going to be protect range first. So you throw on protect range, and well, actually he doesn't really attack with range, but whatever. Green means protect range, blue means protect mage, red means he's going to melee. So he's going to melee. You can't actually, I don't think you can actually protect from melee, but you see how he like leaned down like that? That means he's going to strike with his tail, and so you just need to get out of the way of whatever his face is facing, whatever way his face is pointing. So blue can attack with range too, as you saw there. He just hit me with like a 25, but it's better just to leave protect range or mage on because that's his main attack. So these pillars are the safe spots from the poison that you'll see he'll spawn some poison clouds. So like this, yeah, generally next to these pillars is the safe spot for that. And the rotation is always different. So I'll post a link to the little image that I use for tracking the rotation. You don't really need to do it though with this setup. It's more so if you're going to be switching from mage to range for attack style. But since we're just using only range, it's pretty easy to just ignore the rotations. But I know from experience that this one I'm going to want to be on the left side, and just because I know that he spawns those later on. So I came over here to the left side, but not a big deal either way. Just try to, if you notice that you're running out of room, you just need to run to the other side essentially. So the last phase in the rotation though, it's if you're taking this, my RNG was a little weak this round, so I'm taking a little longer to kill him. That's the only thing you need to really know is if you're on the last phase, then he does this Jad style thing where he switches attack styles every move. So you just wait for him to do the animation, switch to the other one, wait, switch, wait, switch, wait, switch, and you'll never take damage from it. So it's a lot easier than Jad actually. And he's dead. Look at that. I barely used any food or prayer, and it gave me pure essence, which is the worst drop, but still not bad. And that was 221. So 2 minutes is a pretty good time using this method because just the low effort. So I used three food there since I dropped my summer pie. So 3 food and 3 doses of prayer. I'll eat another one of these after I pot up next time. But he always drops this little teleport, which to restart the fight, you just teleport out and it brings you right back to the dock. Then you can hop right back in. Yeah. So oh, here is the. Let's see if this picks it up on the video. Here is the little chart that I'm using for rotations. So you can see all green means he's using range, and purple is where you should stand. The yellow is the pillars. So I think we had this one. We had the first one. So we started range. You always start in this bottom. So keep in mind that it's south is up on the compass for all of these, but we want this horseshoe shape. So, but you're always going to start in the bottom left for the first 2 rotations, no matter what. And then if it's 1 or 2, you can just stay there again. Otherwise, you move up to the corner. But there's really only 3 or 4. There's only 4 spots. There's 1, 2, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and I guess sometimes so. There's 5 total locations. But once you just have an idea of the rotation, then it's pretty easy to just move to the spot, and you don't have to worry about changing anything other than your protection prayer. And then this is, you can see where it has green and blue for him. That's where he's doing that, what they call the Jad phase, where it switches every time. But again, it's predictable, so you don't have to wait for the animation. You just protect mage. As soon as he starts casting mage, then you switch to range and go from there, like I did, where you don't take any damage. So I'll do it one more time for you, and I'm going to move that over to my second monitor. So we'll just pot up here and eat another food. Go. Oh, I should probably take another sip of my venom. There we go. So click over to this corner. So we're going to start. So he doesn't actually, I've noticed that he doesn't actually attack you in this first phase, but I just keep range on because it's good habit to have it tied to whatever phase he's in. So let's see, this is phase 3 since he moved over there first. So phase 3, we're going to have melee is the next one, and then range is going to spawn over here. So once this guy goes away, then I'm going to just run over here. Because I think he's going to spawn some poison. Yeah, this is spawning some poison. And once he starts his little lean down like that, then I'm going to run away. Oh, looks like leaning down again. Run away. And this is mage. So he's going to be over here. Then the next one is going to be range. So it's a good idea to eat in between phases, just because there's a few seconds where you can't attack him. And wow, my DPS is really bad this round, so we might see a extra phase here. But mage will just stay here again. The next one's going to be range again. So these are the snakelings I'm talking about, and they use all 3 combat styles, I believe, and they can hit kind of hard, but as soon as they hit you once, that recoil damage is gonna get rid of them. So that's a big, a huge thing is having that recoil or ring of suffering, so that they die after they damage you once. Okay, so after this is gonna see, he hit me with a 29 with the range there. So after this guy, it's gonna be the Jad phase, and then if I don't kill him in the Jad phase, then the rotation is gonna restart. So here we go. Mage, range, mage, range, range. So he started with range, which is, or he started with mage, which is unusual. 90% of the time he starts with range, so I was backwards there, which is why I was eating so much. He was doing a lot of damage to me. So I'm going to go back down here. So we started this rotation over again. So I think he's going to be range again after this. Melee. Okay, so it did change to a different rotation. But you can see, even though it's like changing like this, and I don't know exactly what the rotation is now, you can just kind of, make sure you're protecting the right thing and avoiding the poison clouds, and that's really all you need to do with this strategy. So we'll still be able to get 2 kills. Normally I like to get 3 kills on a trip, but 2 kills is okay. We're going to go over by this pillar. There we go. Now we can go by the pillar. And he's dead. Alright, so that was the longest one I've had yet, 4 minutes, and I was still able to do it without running out of food there. If that was my 3rd kill, I would have ran out of food and had to teleport, but that's just bad RNG. So that's it.